Alice Komuhanj Kauka in the International War Crimes Division Court is presiding over legislators Muhammad Segirinya, Alanis Sewanya and other 5 co-accused case, where they are facing charges of murder, attempted murder and terrorism. She's also handling the pre-trial of the Renzululu Kingdom leader, Omusinga Charles Wesley Mumbere, and his 200 subjects, and the case of attempted murder of General Edward Katumba Wamala, murder of his daughter Brenda Nantong and driver Sergeant Aruna Kayondo, and the murder of Major Muhammad Chigundu. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Minister for Works, General Edward Katumba Wamala, confirms that over 100 billion shillings has been wired to district accounts in the country to maintain and construct roads. General Katumba has tasked leaders to make good use of the funds and ensure proper accountability. Here's our reporter, Ivan Kahwa, with more details.
The Ministry of Finance has released 135 billion shillings under Q2 to the road fund to construct and maintain roads across the country. All districts have received 100% of their share to ensure roads are well maintained, and members of parliament from respective districts are heading the road committees to ensure effective use of the monies allocated.
But please, as a district, go through the district road committee to make the decisions. Not as individuals, not the RDC, not the LC5 chairperson.
UNRA is allocated 100 billion to maintain national roads and ferries, including those affected by floods in the mountainous areas.
Our priority is to start with emergency situations where the roads are cut off. We have some roads which are cut off in Mbale. We had the challenges in Golib. We have challenges in Kashensero. So those will be the first priority because the road users must reach their destination.
So every district will have a district unit equipment, and so we expect better performance of this. So we are also calling upon, I'm also using this opportunity to call upon the districts to be frugal, but also be responsible.
Kampala Capital City Authority bagged an amount of 4 billion to maintain and construct Wamala, Salama, Sentema, Kampala and Bombo roads, including many others.
Yes, we've received 4 billion, but 4 billion comes way short of our needs.
According to the Deputy ED for Kampala Capital City Authority, 60% of the 600 kilometers of paved roads in Kampala are beyond maintenance level.
Don't expect much change in the condition of the road network in Kampala because much of it is beyond repair. And we are focusing on trying to mobilize resources to reconstruct, revamp this network. And in that effort, again, we've received about $288 million from African Development Bank to reconstruct, rehabilitate about 69 kilometers of roads in Kampala.
It is anticipated that rains shall be worse in the month of November, yet it is during this season that roads in Kampala are flooded, putting transport at a standstill.
There are many things we do that cause this pain. Garbage is littered in the stormwater channels. You block these drains. When it rains, water has nowhere to go. It causes flooding. Buildings, people are building in wetlands. The pressure on wetlands where water is supposed to go and drain is so high. Now, if the wetlands are used to build houses, the problem flooding won't go away. So the citizens have a lot more to do to help relieve the pain.
However, the first phase of the flyovers will end in November this year and phase 2 shall begin. Traffic control centers and streetlight management systems will be developed to harmonize traffic movement. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kampala.
MTN joins the people of Keralur to celebrate the 12th coronation anniversary of the King of Keralur, His Royal Majesty Ubim Philip Raoni III in October. At MTN, we believe that we only succeed if the communities in which we operate succeed. And so, we're happy to join the people and well-wishers of the people of Keralur in promoting social cultural programs of the Ubim.
Walego Mugisa ni Ubimu ku Keralur.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And do you have everything you need to believe?
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165 *77 hash or use the Momo app to register.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, and a warm welcome to those of you just joining us. Now, the ruling NRM party says that there is no need for panic and anxiety amongst members of the general public regarding the continued endorsement of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni by well-wishers for the 2026 presidential race. In an exclusive interview with the party Secretary General Richard Todwong, he notes that as per now, what the party is focusing on is the execution of the 2021-2026 mandate, and when time for politics returns, the party will follow the usual procedures to generate candidates' names at all elective positions. Take a watch.
Her Excellency for appending the signature.
For close to 2 months now, regional NRM supporters have been appending their signatures to the endorsement proposal for another presidential bid for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni come 2026.
Our president get another sole candidate of 2026.
Besides training on different media platforms, the move has also attracted mixed reactions, especially within the political circles. The NRM party top leadership has now broken its silence over the matter.
What is going on is not something that is strange. It is normal. There are individuals in the party, groups within the party, who would wish to express their support and extend their calling to leaders to offer themselves in various positions of the party and government. As a party, we are saying These are normal issues. We don't stop anybody from expressing his or her interests or preference for a candidate. But at the right time, the party, through the party organs, will process all this and make a presentation to the organs of the party that will pronounce themselves over this.
In this exclusive interview with the NRM Party Secretary General, Richard Todwong says whether it will be President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni or someone else in 2026, time will tell.
At the moment, it's too early for the party to say the party would support President Yoweri Museveni for another term, or the party would support somebody X or another person. The democracy that we practice in the party gives leverage to everybody to feel free to offer himself, as long as you have the qualifications and the right credentials that the party feels you should have.
As per now, the party is only deploying all its energies on the implementation of its current mandate.
But we only saying at the moment we are faced with quite a number of things as a party and government that we wouldn't want to be diverted into the politics of who becomes the next flag bearer of the party in 2026 general election. We have just been in office for 1 year. We have a manifesto to make sure it is well implemented, and we wouldn't want to spend much energy and time politicking. We need to transform lives of citizens, just like the president has always been telling us.
Although on several occasions there have been calls and insinuations that the former Commander Land Forces General Muhoozi Kainerugaba will be joining politics, Todwong asserts that this remains a matter of his choice.
I've not yet heard from the general himself that he is intending to run for the presidency of this country. If he wishes to run, being a serving army officer, he will have to retire from the army and he will have to offer himself to run at whatever position he wants to run, be it at presidential level or a member of parliament or whatever position he would like to run in. And of course, I know he has a lot of admirers, a lot of young people who are helping him mobilize. And so all these interests, we shall cross the bridge when we reach.
With almost 1.5 years in office as the party Secretary General, Richard Todwong boasts of some success which, according to him, has been pegged onto teamwork.
From the time I became the Secretary General, I worked so hard to make sure that the party secretariat gets united. And every leader at the party secretariat, be it a director, be it anybody at a different level of office, senior leaders, mid-level managers, and the staffs do understand their purpose of being leaders of a political party. The biggest challenge of NRM for a long time has been internal bickering. So when you unite them, they work together so well. And so we've been able to win all these by-elections. Not by any magic, but because we struggle so hard to unite our people to a common goal.
According to the Secretary General, the party is now focusing on how best they can penetrate into the hostile regions of the country, especially Buganda. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Government is being urged to upscale funding for the education sector in order to cater for more learners at post-secondary level for impactful transformation of the economy. In addition to the UPE and USE programs, 4,000 students are sponsored through university education. Now, even with all these, experts feel this is not enough, suggesting an increase of slots for students at university to cater for at least 10,000 learners. This way, they argue, more youths will indeed secure their future with advanced skills to partake of the management of their country through offering quality and corrupt-free leadership. Dorcas Shimono gives us more.
Since the introduction of the Universal Primary Education and Universal Secondary Education programs, government has been able to raise literacy levels, bridging the inequality gaps through poverty eradication. In order to harness these gains, government sponsors about 4,000 students through university education in different public universities countrywide. With the changing trends, experts think proceeds from such programs would be immense if the university intake was broadened to cater for more than the 4,000 students.
Government, it is its responsibility to train its children, no matter at whatever stage. it should also come up and declare that education is free in Uganda. It is these that we leave out who would be becoming very good entrepreneurs and who would be leading into industrialization of Uganda.
This was at the sidelines of the 11th Annual International Leadership Conference held at Makerere University Business School Annex in Bugolobi. During the conference, Makerere University Business School Principal Professor Wasobalunywa lectured attendees on the importance of Pan-Africanism movement.
If we're talking about going ahead, moving ahead, the young people are the leaders of tomorrow. Therefore, it's very important that they understand what are we talking about in terms of geopolitics. We can't sell maize to Kenya. Kenya imports maize from Mexico, and yet we are growing maize here. But we are Kenya's largest export market. So unless if we come together, we are not going to develop our countries.
The corruption cancer that is threatening every pocket of the economy also made it to the priority topics of discussion, especially in the wake of renewed advocacy for Pan-Africanism.
But there are also certain things that need to be done. For instance, what is the salary you are paying a commissioner in government? What is the salary you are paying, is being paid to a bank manager? Maybe 30 million. And they've got similar qualifications. Now, these are contradictions. If they're not ironed out, this commissioner will continue to look for money to be able to live like the bank manager.
By definition, Pan-Africanism is a worldwide movement that aims to encourage and strengthen bonds of solidarity between all indigenous inhabitants of Africa. The youth are seen as critical allies to further the Pan-Africanism movement.
When somebody does something wrong, we shall report you to UN. What is UN? We shall report you to US. What is the US? So there is need to create a national identity. There is need to create a oneness in the country. There is need to create a country where people feel that they are patriots.
Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
The stakeholders in early childhood care and education want government to embrace policy proposals of having children undergo at least 1 year compulsory pre-primary education. This was during a presentation of policy proposals to the Education Policy Review Commission here in Kampala. The stakeholders in early childhood education say this stage is very critical, yet not in the control of government.
But we're appealing to government at least to make a provision, at least for 1 year, to complement all other models to ensure.
The first 3 years after birth are categorized as a stage where children experience rapid growth and development of the brain. Then follows the stage of 3 to 5 years, believed to be a stage of complete attainment of brain development, where children are usually enrolled for pre-primary education. In the proposed policies on early childhood learning, stakeholders in the early childhood development want government to appreciate the importance of mandatory early childhood learning.
We only have 23,000 qualified ECD teachers in our country. You are telling me you have 23,669. Who trained them? Where? Me, I think these are not trained.
Although apparently the pre-primary education is in the hands of the private sector, who are said to be more profit-oriented, the institutions in charge of training of pre-primary teachers are also under private ownership. During the interaction with the Education Policy Review Commission, stakeholders presented all justifications of government to support pre-primary learning. These were centered around improvement of quality of learners, reduction in the rate of school dropouts, and retaking of classes, which sometimes drains government financially.
Whenever our children repeat classes, as a country we spend that much, we spend more. Because first of all, it means it impacts on the classroom space. If we are registering 50 learners in T1 and we have 30 of them that are repeating, those are 8. Already the classroom space is not adequate. That means as a government, we have to continue investing in infrastructure development.
These were followed by concerns on the implementation of this proposal among which included qualification of teachers, its regulations, and mode of certification.
I see challenges starting from the teachers themselves and those who care. At these daycare centers and so on, it's not really the teachers. It's also people who are trained how to care for children and so on.
To clearly give a proposal, what should be the minimum qualification of the teacher and the assistants.
It should be noted that government also started implementing training of teachers in early childhood care education. According to the 2020 National Planning Authority and Ministry of Gender report, at least 63% of early childhood care education centers are located in urban areas, compared to the 35% in rural areas. Susan Naung and Kenneth Tanaba reporting for EBC TV.
Multi-billion Day Biopharma pharmaceutical company is slated for commissioning 2 years after site development began. The pharmaceutical project, meant to produce vaccines in Uganda and export to the global market, will be commissioned this Friday.
Biotech company on the African continent to make biological drugs. We are the first biotech company on the African continent to make mRNA vaccines, recombinant vaccines, the latest cancer drugs.
A $500 million day biopharma pharmaceutical company located in Chigogwa, Matuga along Bombo Road is to be commissioned this Friday.
And what you see here is the largest pharmaceutical company on the African continent, even as really commented by WHO, because they were like, we have not seen this anywhere in Africa.
I was here, we brought here His Excellency, and I'm sure he will be here to launch the manufacturing. I'll make sure that he's here so that we feel the pride. So this is one of our facilities that is going to make a major outlay.
Construction works were launched by President Yoweri Museveni and witnessed by President William Ruto, then Deputy President of Kenya, on 3rd June 2020. The state-of-the-art laboratory under the Day Group is to manufacture pharmaceutical products, ensure quality control, carry out biotech research and drug discovery. It will also manufacture vaccines that are meant to teach the cells how to make a protein that will trigger an immune response.
We have got for centuries had all these diseases. We have got grand and grandmothers and fathers treating. Therefore, to look at these herbs or these natural products and scientifically quantitate, find out what's in there is absolutely the right way to go. And of all the things that I've seen here in terms of research, that's the research that excites me most.
Day Biopharma is also to manufacture malaria prevention medicines and other types of life-saving medicines. It was founded and managed by a Uganda biochemist, Matthias Magola.
Company on the African continent to really build a standard that meets FDA and European Medicine Agency. So it will give us market to the rest of the world. That's why we are struggling to make sure that our facility is qualified by those standards. But no, to be qualified by those standards means that actually you are providing the drugs that meet international standards for the African people.
The facility has already been visited by World Health Organization experts, Food and Drug Administration consultants, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, among others, to confirm its capability.
This is very amazing.
I need every time you try them.
It's really amazing when you look at, especially since the units are going to be made in the United States.
FDA approved.
Yes, that's enough.
Exactly.
Uganda has for long depended on India, US, Russia and Cuba, among other countries, for vaccines.
Because in the whole of Africa, nobody has technology that we got in here. And we thank FDA. We thank the American government because you guys have supported us. It's the first time technology now flowing from the US to Africa. We thank you so much.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Will be completed next year.
The stakeholders in the health sector have asked government to increase menstrual hygiene by supplying sanitary pads for free, as is the case with condoms. The Executive Director to Tunaweza Foundation Uganda, Victoria Nalule, highlighted the need for prioritizing girls living with disabilities because many have been left out. The remarks were made during a training and orientation on menstrual hygiene here in Kampala.
Menstrual health and hygiene interventions have been highlighted as key strategies that can help more girls stay in school and enjoy their life fully. This has been disclosed at an orientation and menstrual hygiene training in Kampala, where different stakeholders gathered to forge a way forward to ensure girls enjoy their right to education.
We are also facing a challenge of the confidence, is lost when you're into your period. So you feel like it's kind of hard to express yourself as a girl with disability. But then also accessibility of information, accessibility of the materials. This menstrual hygiene materials are very, very expensive.
The Executive Director to Tunaweza Foundation Uganda, Victoria Nalule, says poor menstrual hygiene has led to reproductive and urinary tract infections in young girls, leading to future infertility and birth complications.
According to the research, over 500 women are affected by menstruation. Like they cannot afford pads. They cannot. Like they are affected in the long run when they are undergoing their menstruation period. And so what does that mean? It means like now the person living with disability, a girl out there who cannot, meanwhile on the other side, cannot pad themselves, or they cannot even speak to get information or to get the materials to use. That becomes a big challenge. But then also looking onto the accessibility, onto this kind of items, they are very kind of challenging to basically get out. So you may find in the long run that the girls living with disability and the women always get a challenge, when it comes to the menstrual hygiene.
Mayose Bob, a country director, Pilgrim Center Uganda, says the partnership with Tunaweza Foundation Uganda will increase the awareness campaign on health menstrual hygiene.
As Pilgrim Center, one of our core values is to see that we have human rights, but also we have what we call community revitalization. And community revitalization tells us or helps us to have inclusion of every group of people, and we're supposed to come in to help communities. Today we're here and we're partnered with Tunaweza Foundation as an awareness campaign to bring to knowledge girls who are affected during their menstrual cycles, and we are here to provide to them what we call a menstrual cup, together with our friends from the US called Kudu Cup International.
Menstrual hygiene is vital to the empowerment and well-being of women and girls worldwide, and entails ensuring that there is a conducive environment that manages menstrual dignity.
The challenge we have with our girls today, especially in the Girl Guides Association, is that this affects them, both the esteem, they lose the esteem, they feel shy, and at the end of it they drop out of school. They also feel inferior amongst the gender, the opposite gender, that's boys. Many of them wish they were boys.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
It is 8:45 in the studios of UPC TV. We'll now take yet another short break and return with the latest in business.
The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a specialized quasi-judicial body established under Section 93 of the Electricity Act to handle all civil cause disputes relating, but not limited to, regulatory disputes, billing and licensing, tariffs, power generation, transmission and distribution issues, compensation resulting from activities in the electricity sector including civil wrongs and breaches of statutory and contractual duties and consumer-related complaints. The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a special court and the first instance court that deals with electricity matters in the country. For more information, please contact the Electricity Disputes Tribunal at Amber House, Kampala Road, opposite Post Office, or call us on 041 232987.
Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude, it's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold on much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
Welcome back from that break. Let's have a look now at the latest in business. Key tourism sector players in Uganda and Kenya coastal region are organizing a conference, familiarization trips and exhibition with an intention of maximizing the tourism potential. Whereas Uganda is endowed with unique safaris, historical heritage, flora and fauna among others, the coastal region of Kenya is the tourism hub with historical attractions and beautiful beaches among others. Take a watch.
Tourism is a key sector in all the East African economies, contributing at least 17% to export earnings. Although the contribution is significant, there is more potential for growth.
Go back to the spirit where tourism come in this region and travel flawlessly in between the two countries. We have a common visa for tourism these days. Get a visa for tourism. You can fly between Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda with one visa. So there's no reason why, if we package these things properly.
Tourism conference, exhibition, and familiarization trip between Uganda and the Kenya coast, slated for November this year, spearheaded by the Consulate General of the Republic of Uganda, is geared at fostering tourism sector integration.
Where we market together so that someone who has been at the coast can be convinced that, oh, there's something quite different you can go and see in Uganda. You can go and see the mountain gorillas, which are not at the coast.
Kenya has fantastic experiences that you will never get in Kenya. And again, Kenya has fantastic experiences that you will not get in Uganda. But imagine for the people, the trend is now the younger generation are coming to Kenya and they're looking for adventure, they're looking for nightlife.
Tourism arrivals in Uganda in 2021 stood at 512,945, and out of these, 326,387 were from Kenya, which translates to 64% of all arrivals. Building networks and synergies can grow these numbers exponentially.
Our view is that we want to make East African tourism like domestic tourism. We want more tourists to be intra-African in the spirit of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and the East African community.
Travel and tourism are one of the world's largest employers and key job creators. 1 in 10 jobs is currently in travel and tourism, with the sector creating 1 in every 5 new jobs. Abdul Nasali Lubwama, UBC Business.
Players in the hospitality industry are exploring ways in which hospitality businesses can optimize technology to deliver streamlined operations and create exceptional experiences. In a stakeholder engagement in Kampala organized by PayPal, the hospitality sector players were encouraged to adapt and thrive, as we hear in this story.
Is aimed at creating partnerships for mutual benefits. Players are encouraged to take their businesses online in order to grow revenue and avoid the inconveniences that come with manual systems.
Changing technology is impacting customer expectations, and
you know that most of the trends in the travel and hospitality industry are driven by technology, ranging from voice search to robotics to virtual reality, recognition technology. Someone was talking about seeing a picture of a swimming pool. The future is virtual reality. You touch a button and see the real thing.
Jinbia Mugisha, the executive director, Uganda Hotel Owners Association, emphasizes on online payment system security. Safe and trustable systems attract more users, boost confidence, and increase traffic on a platform.
You know, with everything automated, a guest can check in and pay and book their ticket without having to interface with the human being, and come to the hotel and use their phone to check in and actually even go to their room and check out and pay. We find that the world, and unfortunately, it's moving very fast.
Founded in 2009, Pesapal provides a simple, safe and secure way for individuals and businesses to make and accept payments in Africa. It is a payment gateway service through which clients can process payments either via mobile money and mobile money banking.
We've built our own reserve port, which is a booking engine that is integrated to payments. And this is Visa, MasterCard, mobile money solution. That includes Airtel, MTN Money, just to enable businesses to receive or for consumers to go cashless.
The platform is safe, it's ready to handle, and it's confident. I think for me that is what we want to see really. And that's the challenge. And of course the other challenge really is are we there? Is the framework, is the technology spread throughout, is it inclusive, or there's some asymmetry?
Disruptive technologies are changing business models, and customer expectations are changing by the day. To achieve business growth, the service industry needs to evaluate and upgrade their processes in order to deliver connected and personalized customer experiences. Dennis Igoa and Aisha Nakazi for UBC Business.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at the latest in sport, and we of course begin with the World Cup. And 30 days to the 2022 FIFA World Cup, teams and fans are preparing to compete. In today's roundup edition, we focus on Senegal, an African nation and champion. Many Africans have their money on Senegal to progress past the group stages. We have more in this story.
If you ask football fans across Africa which African nation stands high chances of triumphing at the Qatar World Cup, many will point at Senegal. In fact, after triumphing as champions of Africa, many locals in Senegalese capital Dakar said Senegal has chances of winning the World Cup.
Started in! And exactly the same minute that Senegal went behind.
With key players like Sadio Mane, Kalidou Koulibaly, and the African goalkeeper of the year, Edouard Mendy.
For the third time in their history, and the first time they've done it back-to-back.
Senegal is in Group A that has Netherlands, host Qatar, and Ecuador. The question is, will Senegal make it out of the group? Senegal first appeared in the World Cup in 2002, where they shocked the world with their dream run into the quarterfinals. The run got them fans all around the globe, where their goal scoring was also amongst the African nations. And just like the 2002 edition, the group stage had some tough opponents for Senegal, comprising of Denmark, Uruguay and France.
As an own goal for Chonek.
Senegal managed to triumph with a historic win against France. It took quite a while for Senegal to build a team that served the purpose of quality players.
Chesney furious with Krychowiak, and Niang had just been called back on by the referee.
With the winning objective and the former success in the AFCON tournament, Senegal looks promising to make Qatar World Cup a remarkable run.
And of course, we do hope that Senegal makes it through to the, at least to go past the quarter finals, and that is the team that Africans have their hope in as far as going through this 2022 World Cup is concerned. Now, State Minister for Sports, Honourable Peter Ogwang, has for the second time in less than a week reiterated government commitment to Ndeje University to be able to host a memorable 12th East Africa University Games. The latest pledge has been at the East Africa University Games Symposium at Imperial Royal Hotel.
Delegates from several East African universities have attended the East Africa University Games Symposium that has been addressed by State Minister for Sports Peter Ogwang at the Imperial Royal Hotel in Kampala.
I bring you warm greetings from Mama, the First Lady, who is our Minister of Education and Sports. It's with great pleasure that I was invited as a chief guest to this 12th East African University Games Symposium. The pre-Games Scientific Symposium Conference brings together students, officials, national federations, and other key partners involved in the sports movement.
This symposium comes ahead of the 12th East Africa University Games to be hosted by Ndeje University this December.
They have done a commendable job as far as the hosting of the East African University Games is concerned. They are at almost 95% of all facilities to be ready, which you know very well we have less than a month now to go. So Ndeje is ready to host the East African University Games. Whatever few challenges which they have is one area which now I'm directly as government, we're working with them directly because each the president committed before the Archbishop and the entire management of Ndeje that they'll be able to support them.
The games are expected to attract more than 4,000 participants from 70 institutions and organized under the auspices of the Federation of East Africa University Sport.
These are biannual events. Maybe they will happen every after 2 years. Can we start our planning a bit early? For example, Ndeje University has been in the world university events, games, for 12 editions. Personally, I have attended 12 editions. But Ndeje University is a small university with a bigger resources. Why we've been able to make it edition after the edition is an aspect of planning.
These games are a multi-sport university event organized biannually and will this year have 20 disciplines including athletics, badminton, chess and taekwondo. Hosts Ndeje University are also defending champions but are up against notably Uganda Christian University and Makerere from Uganda, with Jomo Kenyatta and University of Dar es Salaam also a threat. John Burns, Sentamo, UBC Tonight.
And that story brings us to the end of this first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. Our next bulletin comes your way in about an hour's time, and that is at 10 p.m. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijana Ngoma. I'll see you at 10, but up next here on UBC TV is You Health Talk. Enjoy the show and see you at 10.